Hi everyone. Topic of today's video is should you join a professional engineering organization? In this video I'll provide you a summary of my experience with professional engineering organizations and what I see as their advantages and disadvantages. My name is Casey Jones. I have a professional registration in both engineering and geology, and I've worked as a professional for over 36 years. I run my own deep foundation testing company. Now in this video, the organizations I'll cover are ASCE, American Society of Civil Engineers, DFI, Deep Foundations Institute, PDCA, Pile Driving Contractors Association, which is not an engineering organization per se, and ADSC, Association of Drill Shaft Contractors. It's also not an engineering organization per se, but these last two organizations do have many engineering members. I used to be a member of all these organizations, but now I only maintain membership in the ADSC. And I'll tell you why. In the case of ASCE, I really enjoyed my involvement with my local geotechnical section earlier in my career, and I got to meet a lot of people in my field. Then around 2007, I noticed that ASCE was really pushing the requirement for an engineer to have both a bachelor's and master's degree in order to become a licensed professional engineer. This is called ASCE Policy Statement 465 and was issued in 1998 and has since been revised a few times. In my case, I worked for 5 years as a practicing engineer after my bachelor's degree, which allowed me to decide which area would be best for my master's, which I later obtained. Now, I've greatly benefited from obtaining my master's degree in civil engineering with emphasis in geotechnical engineering. However, I think it should be left to the individual to decide if and when they could benefit from getting a master's degree in civil engineering. Also, let's not overlook the fact that the cost of a college education has risen well above the rate of increase that would be expected from inflation alone. It may be necessary for a professional to earn money by working before they're able to go back and get their master's degree, which was the case for me. Also, many employers will pay for a portion, if not all, of the cost for pursuing a master's degree, usually in exchange for some number of years of continued service after the completion of the degree, which makes working for a while after getting your bachelor's that much more attractive. The bottom line is I think that ASCE is completely misguided on this issue in trying to change the state engineering licensure laws to require a master's degree in civil engineering in order to obtain your professional engineering license. I think a big reason for ASCE's push for a master's degree is to permit a massive money grab by colleges and universities to keep people in school for another year or more. Also, I think ASCE completely discounts the tremendous insight that can be gained by an engineer through professional practice. Not to take away from any engineer who has obtained their PhD, but I've noticed that those engineers that go directly from, say, their bachelor's degree to their master's degree and then on to their PhD are often too theoretical and rarefied in their experience to be a good working engineer for normal project design or construction support. The bottom line is they tend to not be very good practicing engineers based on what I've seen. Also, I've noticed that they're seldom willing to do much, if any, field work. Another thing that I don't like about ASCE these days is they're pushing the diplomate of geotechnical engineering as part of their Academy of Geoprofessionals. It strikes me as more of an ego boost for both ASCE and their members, and as yet another cash grab. Now, I think there's some really great geotechnical engineers that are diplomates of geotechnical engineering and part of the Academy, but there are also great geotechnical engineers who are not part of the Academy. And this Academy talks a lot about elevating the ethics for professional practice, but I don't see any higher level of ethical behavior for Academy members versus non-Academy members. It seems to me that all you have to do to become a diplomate and join the Academy of Geoprofessionals is to fill out their application and show that you've completed an engineering degree at an accredited university, show that you have 10 more years of academic or engineering work experience, and then send in your $300 or $400 check. I'd really like to know what the acceptance rate is for qualified applicants, as I'm willing to bet that it's 100%. Now let's move on to the other organizations in the geotechnical realm. You have organizations such as DFI, Deep Foundations Institute, or PDCA, again, Association of Pile Driving Contractors. And as I said earlier, I'm no longer a member of these organizations. Although I'm no longer a member of these organizations, I'll still attend their conferences on occasion. The problem that I see with these organizations is that they have become really political, and by that I mean in ways that are designed primarily to advance individual and company agendas, more so than to advance the field of practice, in my opinion. For example, in my experience, the technical committees often act as gatekeepers to shut out people who are offering competing products or services. I've also noticed that these organizations may not advance the best type of practice for a particular area of engineering if it runs counter to the opinion of the committee members. In other words, controversy, dissension, or competition is not welcome in these technical groups from what I've seen. The bottom line is that each person should evaluate whether joining any of these professional organizations would be worthwhile. So that's my hot take on my experience with these professional organizations. Please let me know your thoughts and experiences with these or similar professional organizations, and be sure to hit those like, subscribe, and notification buttons. Also, I'll be posting videos at least once a week, so please stay tuned for future videos.